feel great. I haven't played football in a while, like competitively. I've trained and, I'm in good shape, but just to get back in football shape and to just get back around the game, to me, it's kind of become like an addiction. This is going into my 12th year, so including college, another 3 years, and then playing since I was a little kid. So this is almost 20-plus years of football for me.
Is it an interesting dynamic, given you're going within the division and, the rivalry the Eagles and Cowboys have?
That's the furthest thing from my mind. I'm just happy to be here, and, I'm just looking forward to the future and competing and doing whatever it takes to make and, contribute to this team.
What's your background with DeSean like?
Great. Great friends since childhood. So kind of when this was coming down, we kind of talked about it. And I kind of stressed that I would like to play with him. We have never gotten a chance to play together, and we've known each other since we were 7, 8 years old. And I'm really looking forward to that.
You've played against each other quite a bit.
So many times.
What's your best memory of that?
I don't know. They kind of run together. But, just being able to compete against him, and then when I'm not competing against him, to just cheer for his success. And now, full time, I can cheer for his success when I'm not competing with him on the practice field.
Is it a breath of fresh air to not have to cover him?
I love competing. I'm a competitor. And, he's a great, great talent, a great receiver. Has been a great receiver in this league for a long time. And, I really relish those moments.
Are there any similarities in what you played for here and with the defense here?
It's only so many coverages in football, so, football is football.
As a Pop Warner player, what was he like?
He was the same, man. He just was a little bit smaller, but he was the same competitor. He was extremely fast. He was extremely talented. It's pretty much the same.
Is he always the fastest guy on the field?
Go ahead.
Is he helping you adjust?
He's been great for me. He's constantly calling me and asking me if I need anything off the field and helping me. And, that was part of what made me feel comfortable coming here.
What are the conversations like with the other DBs right now, more than just like, hi, I'm Orlando, nice to meet you?
I think they have a great room, a great culture. They've been very accepting of me, and, I know that's not always an easy thing when coming into to accept your competition, but I appreciate them, and I look forward to putting in a lot of work with them and, becoming one of them.
It has to be very odd for you, though, wearing green, 10 years as a Cowboy.
Like I said, that's the furthest thing from my mind. I'm happy to be here, I'm happy about all my moments that I had, but that is in my past, and this is my future and my present.
You said you were looking for the right situation. Did you have other offers?
I'm not going to really get into that, but this was a great situation for me, and none of that really matters at this point. And I'm here, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm super excited.
Why do you still want to play? You've done this for a very long time.
I still love the game, and I know I love the game when I still get jitters and butterflies before practices and before things like that, and that's how I know I still love it, and that competitive edge is in me.
How would you assess your season in Kansas City?
That's neither here nor there. Like I said, that's my past. I'm looking forward to being a part of this team.
How competitive is this room? You got a bunch of guys, everybody's all competing.
I think it's great, man. They have a great culture on this team, and they're not that far removed from a Super Bowl. They had a great run last year, and it just shows like the type of culture that they have. They had lots and lots of injuries, and they still continue to compete.
He don't want to guard me though. He coming up right now. I can say it in front of him. He don't want to guard me now. But he's a good corner. He has a lot of experience in this game and in this field. So look forward to having him out there going against him, and hopefully he can make our defense better.
Is it kind of crazy to know that there's someone you've been playing with and against since you were 7 or 8, and now you guys are finally getting a chance to play together on the world's biggest stage?
Yeah, I can remember going back to about 7 or 8. Majority of the times my team has always beat his team. So besides a couple of times when he's in Dallas, they got us a few times. But I say, man, it's really a good thing to have somebody like that where you kind of grew up against him, playing against him. And, it's better to have him on your team than against you because obviously the matchups we had against each other, he kind of know what I do and I know what he does. So it's good to have him on this side.
Do you have any advice for him coming into Philadelphia as a longtime Cowboy?
Yeah, just do everything you can to have them change their, perception of you being a Cowboy. So whatever you could do to, show them that you're here and, you want to be a part of what we got going here. Just put the hard work in. I think the city, Philadelphia loves when, their guys are in the community putting the hard work in on the field, off the field. As long as he does that, he'll be fine.
Did you talk with Orlando at all before he decided to come here? And if so, what were those conversations like, telling him about what the Eagles are?
Yeah, I talked to him actually the day he was coming in to do a workout. He kind of called me and asked me, he was like, should I come or, what you think or whatever. And I was like, yeah, man, it'll be a good opportunity for you to come play on this defense. I feel like our defense flies around, they have a lot of players on there with a lot of experience. So to add his experience to what we already have, it's gonna be good. But just got to get out here and he got to work. He got to fit in. Obviously, they do some great things. So whatever he can add to what they already do would be great.
A few days in now, how is everything looking for the offense? How are you and Carson clicking?
Yeah, today was an awesome day. We connected a few times down the field. A couple intermediate routes, a couple quick screens. So we're just trying to put day on, and just keep adding to what we're already doing. Just keep building. That's the biggest thing you could do right now with training camp is just keep building, and get them reps. The reps we get now, obviously, it doesn't get no better than that because once season comes, it's like the back of the head. Like he knows what I'm doing, I know what he's doing. So it's a good thing.
Is there any personal goal that you want to achieve at this point in camp?
No, I honestly just get my timing down. Just the reps, my timing. Obviously, know this playbook, so when I step up to the line of scrimmage, I'm not second guessing or second thinking. So that's my goal is just to learn it to my utmost ability to go out there, and when I'm playing, I can just play fast.
What's it like having a healthier training camp for a lot of guys? You're one of them who missed time last year. Just getting the timing down, just getting more reps there.
I think it gets being healthy. Now we can just focus on just getting in shape together. Because some people like me, I was kind of behind. And I was trying to get in shape as the season was here already. But then some people was already in shape. Now I feel like with all of us being out there, we can all just keep going up together other than just, some people together. It was like more cliquish in that way because some people was hurt trying to catch up and some people was already there. And so it was just kind of like an off-balance thing, I feel. Because, I couldn't give them I gave them everything I had, but everything I had sometimes was just not as good as I would like it to be. And so this year, me speaking for myself and what I felt last year, I feel like now I can really put in that work to make sure that I'm in shape by the first preseason game and then by the first game.
Coach Schwartz says that this defensive line is the engine that stirs this defense. Has there ever been this much depth on the defensive line with this many good players at one time?
I look back, at the Super Bowl year. I feel like, but I feel like we got a lot of different guys. You got Malik. You got Timmy who's back, who's got a chip on his shoulder. You got a lot of guys that's willing to work, in the room. You got some of the rookies that's coming in, that's really good. Like I like Ridge is not a rookie, but Ridgeway was a good addition, getting him because he fits well in this defense. But, like I say, it's just the leaders in this room. Me and Fletch been here together. Vinny's back, and it's a lot of excitement, with just Joe Osman, Josh Sweat, guys who really just fighting for playing time. And I think when we see this first preseason game, we're going to really see how it all kind of comes together and how we handle adversity.
BG, this is your 10th of these.
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel? Does it get any easier being this is number 10?
You know what? Honestly, being at 10, I don't feel like it's bad. I don't feel like I'm fighting my body, because I'm getting up in age. I feel like, I'm getting better with time, right now. And it's just all on me on how I prepare and how I eat, making sure I take care of my body. Because, sometimes as you get older, you tend to want to think you can get away with certain things because you feel like, oh, I know a couple tricks, but really, the trick is, man, you got to make sure that you keep your body right because if you keep your body right, it'll pay you back later.
Considering what you were just saying, are you surprised that you're back for it and you had a bit, camp, you weren't ready, you've seen your numbers like that? Does it surprise you that the way it all worked out?
I'm glad it worked out. It did surprise me, honestly, because I didn't know if this was my last game or not because I know how the Eagles are. They want to stay young and, they keep some guys, but I was happy that they value me, to be able to pass down some of the knowledge I have to the rookies, because really my biggest thing now is to make sure that I'm making plays on the field, obviously, number one, and making sure that I continue, to pass down, what I know and what I've learned being at year 10 to some of these rookies like DB, who's going to be here that can help and keep this train rolling.
What do you tell them when you pass down?
Just pretty much like when I tell them on the field stuff, getting off the ball is half the battle. So what I focus on every day is, making sure, I get off the ball. And then the next day I might focus on my technique stuff. Always focus on one thing because you got a lot of time. game's not here, and, you know, this is your time to make mistakes, you know, because sometimes you want to be perfect every day, and it's not perfect every day, but what you can control is your effort, and, you know, make sure that's something that they don't have to tell you, you know, because with me now, they ain't got to tell me that. I turn and run. They're like, most of the time they saying, do this like BG, or sometimes, you know, like a guy like Joe who's seen me do it. Now he's kind of taking that role of, you know, man, I'm trying to keep up with him. You know what I'm saying? So we can all help each other. And so I always try to say that, like, nobody is better than nobody. I think that, you know, that's a big thing. Always come ready to learn and be coachable. Whatever coach trying to tell you, you know, hey, you need to work on this, because I know I need to work on some stuff.
Who taught you that when you were starting out?
Trinco, T-Cole. I used to see him come to work every day, you know, and I know some days, boy, that boy, you know, I'm like, man, how you still going? Because, boy, you had a tough one yesterday, and we had them real 2 days back then. And so, you know, he's just like, man, I just focus on one thing that the coach told me to do, and, you know, I do that. And, you know, like, if I can tell any rookie coming in, just listen to the coach on what they – because most of the answers to the test be in film study and what coach see. And if he see you trying to work at some of the stuff that he feels is your issue, then, you know, he can work with you. You know, that's how sometimes you got a player, 2 players battling. It's like, which one listen to me and which one don't? Because a lot of people, you know, it's ego too that kind of getting people away. And, you know, I try to help these guys and let them know if it's not here, at least they can put a good reference, you know, for somewhere else if you're a coachable guy.
From lining up and trying to defend this offense right now, how special do you think that group can be?
Real special. I mean, they got a lot of key components over there on that offense, and you know, starting with Carson, you know. So you just get in there, you know, as you could tell they clicking too. You know, they throwing the ball before they get out their break, and they turn around, it's right there in their pocket. So it's gonna be pretty good.
How valuable is it to go against these guys every day and get this?
It's real good. I mean, you better in yourself. You're going against the best, and you know, every time you come out here, you're going against guys that you're going to have to compete against 100% and just make the game a little bit easier.
How different has this camp been for you, the experience you had last year, now being able to settle in more?
I'm more comfortable, you know. Last year I was rookie, so coming in, I was kind of trying to learn as much as I could, ask as many questions. But now this year coming in, as my second year, I'm more comfortable. I know the defense, I know what to expect. So I know safety, nickel, corner. I know a lot of more things. So right now I'm just taking it day by day.
Is there an advantage too, because everyone seems to be getting to play in a lot of different spots, inside, outside? Can that only help come regular season?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you want to know more than one position. So if anyone goes down, you know, like last year, we got guys that can move around and, you know, play different positions.
Like DeSean for you, or when you see Orlando Scandrick come in here, is he another guy that you kind of grew up watching and remember watching on TV?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, great player. When he got in here, you know, I talked to him, so, you know, getting to know him right now, and, you know, every time he got in here, he asked questions about the defense and what things we do, and, you know, I shoot as much as I can out to him, and, you know, I take tips from him as well, so.
Exactly like you said, camp is a lot of working on things, trying to see how guys get in and out of breaks, seeing how guys like to run their routes, and, you know, where do they like the ball on them. And so there's going to be some growing pains, but you want it to be sharper and sharper every day. You want to, you know, be better the next day than you were the day before. So coach does a good job really preaching process-based instead of, you know, results. And, you know, everybody's heard trust the process, but it's so true. You just got to try to improve, try to get better every day, but it's never going to be perfect, but strive for it.
Nate, you know, if history is any guide, you're going to get a lot of run in the preseason games, the way Doug handles quarterbacks and that kind of stuff. How important are preseason games for you?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you don't want to make too much out of it. I mean, I was fortunate to play a lot in the preseason last year, and was really excited to get those reps. And I mean, we haven't talked reps in preseason or anything at all, but I'm prepared and ready to go when it comes, and just want to put my best foot forward so the coaches can trust me, that they can trust me, and, you know, put the ball in our playmakers' hands, play fast, be decisive, and yeah, just be efficient. So I'm not trying to be Superman, even though sometimes natural, you know, instincts, you want to throw the deep bomb every time, but trying to just make the smart play every time so that they can trust me.